What if Iran crosses the red line? What if behind heavily fortified mountains, the Islamic Republic completes its nuclear puzzle? Would Israel strike first? Would America unleash its bunker busters? Or would a new world order rise led by a nuclear-armed Iran? This isn't science fiction. It's a question haunting military planners, religious scholars, and intelligence agencies right now. Today, we dive into a chilling scenario. What if Iran becomes a nuclear superpower? The making of a nuclear power. To understand where we might go, we need to understand how we got here. Iran's nuclear ambitions go back to the Shah, long before the 1979 Islamic Revolution. With help from the United States and Germany, Iran began building nuclear infrastructure in the 1970s as part of the Atoms for Peace program. But after Ayatollah Khomeini took over, the West turned from partner to enemy. Sanctions followed, and Iran was pushed into isolation. Yet despite the economic chokehold, Iran's nuclear program didn't stop. It went underground, literally Fordow, Natanz, Arak. These names became symbols of defiance and ambition. In 2002, the world learned Iran was enriching uranium in secret, and everything changed. The U.S. labeled Iran part of the axis of evil. Israel launched cyber-acts like Stuxnet. Sanctions tightened. But still, the centrifuges kept spinning. Can Iran really build a bomb? Let's be clear. Building a nuclear bomb isn't just about uranium. It takes three key ingredients: highly enriched uranium, a detonation mechanism, and missile delivery capability. As of mid-2025, Iran has enriched uranium to 60% purity, just one technical step below weapons grade. Experts believe Iran could break out and build a bomb in under 2 weeks if it made the decision, and the delivery system already in place. The Shahab 3 Khorramshahr missiles, capable of reaching Tel Aviv or even U.S. bases in the Gulf. Add to that Iran's deep underground bunkers like Fordow. It's built inside a mountain, and you begin to understand why Israel and the West are deeply alarmed. Iran, of course, denies it, wants a bomb. Supreme Leader Khomeini even issued a fatwa against nuclear weapons. The critics say that's a smokescreen. And the real strategy is to get to the threshold just like Japan and then use the threat as political leverage. If Iran goes nuclear. So, what happens if Iran actually crosses that line and becomes the world's 10th nuclear power? 1. A new Middle East Cold War begins. Saudi Arabia has already warned, if Iran goes nuclear, so will they. The Gulf states will rush to buy nuclear tech, perhaps from Pakistan or China. The region would turn into a web of hair-trigger tensions. 2. Israel's nuclear monopoly ends. For decades, Israel has maintained nuclear ambiguity, never confirming, never denying, but it held the only nuclear arsenal in the Middle East. That gave it strategic dominance. With Iran as a nuclear peer, that balance collapses. Preemptive strikes become more likely. Every skirmish risks nuclear escalation. 3. Terror groups get more aggressive. Iran's allies, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and militias in Iraq, would feel emboldened. Even without direct nuclear use, they would act more aggressively, knowing they're backed by a nuclear umbrella. 4. The end of U.S. dominance in the region. America's entire Gulf strategy rests on deterrence. But a nuclear Iran changes the calculus. Would the U.S. risk Los Angeles for Riyadh? Probably not. And Iran knows it. 5. A religious and political revolution worldwide. Too many in Iran, nuclear power isn't just about security. It's about divine destiny. Some clerics frame it as fulfilling the prophecy of standing strong against the Zionists and Western target. A nuclear Iran could become a beacon or a bully for Shia movements across the world. Why hasn't the West stopped it? You might wonder, why hasn't Israel or the U.S. just bombed Iran's nuclear sites already? A strike could trigger a region-wide war? The answer is simple. It's no longer easy. Iran's facilities are deep underground, scattered, heavily defended by drones and air defenses. The U.S. does have the GBU-57 bunker buster, 30,000 Delby beast capable of destroying some fortified sites, but not all. Iran has already warned, any attack will mean strikes on U.S. bases in Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, and total war with Israel. Plus, after the disastrous Iraq war, Washington is far more cautious. The 2015 Iran nuclear deal, so-called the JCPOA, was meant to avoid all this, but that deal is now mostly dead. The US and USS are both new. If one side launched, both sides would be destroyed. Could a nuclear Iran actually be good? Here's a twist. Some analysts argue that a nuclear Iran could actually stabilize the region. Sounds crazy, let's explore. During the Cold War, nuclear weapons prevented World War III. Could the same logic apply in the Middle East? A nuclear Iran might act more cautiously, knowing any misstep could be fatal. Israel and Iran, as two nuclear powers, might find a strange balance of terror, but that assumes rational actors. And that's the danger. The Middle East is full of proxy groups, rogue elements, and religious zealots. One mistake, one miscalculation, one provocation, and millions could die. The final warning, so here we are. Iran is closer than ever to the bomb. Israel is drawing red lines. The US is divided between diplomacy and deterrence. The Arab world is arming itself. And the skies over the Gulf are filled with drones, satellites, and suspicion. The question is no longer if Iran can build the bomb. The question is, what happens the day after? Would we see a new Islamic Cold War? Would Israel strike first? Would a nuclear Iran challenge the West openly? Or would a balance emerge held together by fear? History teaches us one thing. When power shifts, chaos follows. Thanks for watching, and if Iran becomes a nuclear superpower, the world we know may never be the same again. If you found this deep dive into global security and geopolitics insightful, subscribe now. We uncover the stories the mainstream media woe and touch from the secret battles in the Middle East to the prophecy-filled politics reshaping the world. Comment below. Should Iran be allowed to go nuclear, or must it be stopped at any cost? This was What If Iran Becomes a Nuclear Superpower.